Welcome back to another Market Open live stream. Welcome. So I just want to start by saying I was reading a little bit this morning about Germany and how their consumers aren't really spending, but they still have more COVID going on than we have. But it just made me wonder, golly, what happens if when we get fully reopened and we start getting more interested in services, like going to venues and going out to eat and things like that. What happens if people just don't keep buying as much stuff as they buy? Well, it takes pressure off supply chains, that's for sure. But it makes you wonder, like, there's still that possibility that people aren't going to blow all their money. There's still a possibility that we're gonna see this sort of frugal decade, right? I don't know. It makes me very interested to see what'll happen. Like, I'm very. This is going to be the most interesting kind of recession to look back and study. Because we have so many expectations that this inflation is here to stay. There's no way it's going away. But what if people U-turn, right? That's going to be interesting. So I don't know. It's obviously something to pay attention to. But for now, let's go take a look at the stocks. So what do we got? Let's start with the losers today. Losers. So a little bit of a rotation back here on crypto, actually. That's probably the place to start. Let's find crypto here on Webull. There we go. So when we couldn't break through 40,000, I think Bitcoin kind of from that point started selling off again. So we tried breaking through. We got literally to 39,976. So if that isn't a resistance level, I don't know what is. But we tried it again. This time we got to what, 39.8. Couldn't get there. Then we got stuck around 39.2. And now we're sitting around 37.4. It's not as, it's somewhat similar over here at Ethereum. Ethereum sitting somewhere at about 35. It's an interesting resting point, a little bit above that 3,400. So seeing them all sort of reset to slightly higher levels here. Doge is sitting around 34.5. All right. So still, I think what we're seeing here in crypto is almost a skepticism of the mining council, which, let me be clear, we talked about this yesterday. And I'll tell you this, the mining council sounds like a great idea, but you really think North America is going to be able to pressure China to get in on the cleaner resources? I don't know. I don't see it. I think it's wishful thinking. I think the mining council came with a little bit too much enthusiasm. And I'll be very curious to know which companies are actually part of it. In fact, I wonder if they replied. I sent an email to Hut8. They've been so great. They've been really wonderful about this council. Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Okay, so North American miners, sounds like multiple companies were part of it this weekend, but it makes you wonder, why wouldn't they be? Why wouldn't North American miners be part of it? The big question is what's going to happen with Chinese miners. Anywho, all right, so what do we got here? Virgin Galactic, 5.4% to the downside. BTX, 4.5 to the down. Here go Merit, Riot and Marathon, 30.3 to 3.6 to the downside. This is coming after their run yesterday, around 10 to 13%. Really incredible yesterday, but a little bit rough. Let's see here to see them just regularly trend down here. Not too much other downside though. You've got Genius, Hyliion, Plug Power, Fuel Cell, Domino's. These guys all down around 1 to 2%. Nothing scary here in the pre-market. Looking at the upside in pre-market, which we've got about 3 minutes to go before we have the opening bell here. We've got Ocugen, Canopy, Hydrofarm. I'm also curious to see what AMC is going to do this morning, so we'll take a peek at AMC in just a second here. Social Capital, IPOE, finally back above 20. It's at 20.4 now. This is probably a good time for me to start thinking about dumping one of my options. We've got American Airlines, Moderna, Mind Medicine. This guy's all up about 2 to 2.5%. Teladoc, 2%. EXPI, 1.63. Coinbase is up 1.47. It's interesting how Coinbase kind of sells in, it doesn't follow Riot, and Marathon at all. I know they're different, but sometimes it's easy to just lump the crypto plays together, and maybe we shouldn't. All right, what else do we have here? Dave & Buster's sitting at 42. Spirit Airlines up 1.2 to 35.8. Palantir's chilling around that 21.5-ish level. 19.6 for Churchill. Etsy's, 166. All right, what else we got here? Matterport up 0.5%. Not massive amounts of movement here in the pre-market. AMC looks like some people are at least starting positions again here to get ready to do some trading. And I don't blame them, given that yesterday was up 13.25%. But it's a momentum stock. So, hey, you know what? You could probably still run a buck, though. I mean, based on the last hits that we got off this, it's not impossible to run a buck. 14.53 is where we drew the line. And that we hit that line twice last week, which was incredible. Yeah, slightly above. But anyway, it'll be interesting to see if we get another run out of AMC. So I'll pay attention to this one as the market opens up. Let's go ahead and head on over to Jim. See what Jim's got for us today.
But within those 10 years, I doubt they ever had a 300% move in the stock price.
Well, Carl,
in 1 year.
Carl, what we're seeing are incredible moves, and we really take it for granted. Or we, look at Dogecoin and the or Dave, whatever coin you want to mention right now, favorite coin. I'll go to Tether. I'll start a favorite coin.
Thank you.
But what I have to tell you, Carl, is he's right that people just wrote off retail last year because of the pandemic, and retail turned out to be the place to be. It's really remarkable.
Yep. And all sorts of, it's an apparel, Jim. The Journal's got this story about lipstick and makeup and goods that we're now looking at each other's faces. That's flying off the shelves.
And that's why Estee Lauder on 5 yesterday.
Yeah.
You take your mask off, you discover you have a pimple right here. It's frankly something. I'm glad I have a beard. David, I am Estee Lauder king. David.
There's the opening bell at the big board. It's Callaway Golf, and at the NASDAQ, it is Vimeo celebrating its spinoff from IAC. We're going to talk to the CEO of the video software platform in about 40 minutes. Jim, there's a couple other reopening pieces of news this morning. Live Nation, of course, talked to CNBC, double digits over 2019 in terms of some of the large venue shows that they're booking. And then United and Alaska talking about more ticketed yields for Q2 so far, running ahead of expectations.
Well, then we're just going to see Boeing have to get orders. There's just no choice. Boeing is going to be, I don't necessarily think this quarter, but the orders are going to be extraordinary. And it's the max. I mean, people just they're flying. They don't care. And we are going to see, I believe, Boeing have to raise numbers by the second half of the year. Not yet, but I think the orders are going to come.
All right, Jim. Let's go ahead and get on over to the sticks here. He's been very excited about Boeing for quite a while. So you got to give it to him. Boeing's done decently here. Actually, very well. I mean, gosh, I remember when the thing was like $99. So, all right, where are we here? Lordstown Motors. Wow. Lordstown Motors down 17% right now. This is on a miss yesterday on earnings. It's not a very good open at all. It's lower than before. So, it looks like there we go. Hold on. Let's add it to the watch list. All right, here we go. So, Lordstown down 17.5. Virgin Galactic selling off a little bit here, 6% now. There's actually an article at the top of Bloomberg where Bloomberg slams Cathie Wood, going Cathie Wood sold out of Virgin Galactic right before it surged. It's like, well, all right. Always easy to bag on the people when they're doing poorly. Yeah. All right. Canopy Growth up 6.26%. It's a big movement here. And cannabis play here. And Ocugen's up 5% as well. Golden Nugget for online's up about 3.77. GoPro's up about 3-ish. Coinbase, let's see, where'd it go here? Coinbase about 2.5%, along with Social Capital, IPOE, Norwegian Cruise Lines, Delta, United. Lots of recovery over here. Recovery in cannabis. Okay. Only recovery, cannabis, and Bumble doing well today. That's a combo. Well, then again, we do have GameStop up 2% here. Xpeng. Yeah, there's some more cannabis. Aurora, Etsy, Etsy finally rotating again after it was down yesterday, what, 2% or something to that effect, and maybe 1.5%. Now it's up about 1.8. Square 1.5, Palantir 1.3, Peloton, Matterport each jumping about 1%. And let's go to the downside here. Yeah, Lordstown actually trying to recover a little bit here. Nope, still 17%. Never mind. It does look like Virgin Galactic, Riot Blockchain, Marathon. These guys are going to continue to be our losers for the day. Let's, though, find AMC. Let's see here. AMC's trying to go green. It did start going red a little bit. Where the heck is the darn thing? Well, wherever it is, here's its chart. It's sitting at 1372 right now. We did start seeing it go. Let's see. These are the 30-minute sticks. So let's go to the 1 minute here. There we go. We got some movement here. Nowhere near the volume so far that we had yesterday. Yesterday, we went from massive opening volume, and the next few minutes were like 1.5 to 2 million. But don't get me wrong, this stick is growing. Tesla's pretty much flat here, maybe about down slightly, 1.3 or 0.13. What else? So yeah, cannabis, travel, some online stores like Etsy. Very, very unclear pattern as to what's green today. Virgin Galactic definitely down about that 5.15% though. Riot and Marathon decelerating a little bit, or falling a little bit, but slowly. We've got Bitcoin 37.6. Let's go. We're on the 5 minute. A little bit of a recovery in the 5 minute here. Let's take a peek here. Kathy's a spokesperson for the Suits establishment. Oh, that's a rough comment.
And they traded a lot, David.
Romeo Power well below. It's well below, of course. It was a SPAC well below 10. Lordstown well below. Although Lordstown was, forget it's
Lordstown was so exciting.
Was that
yeah? It had the promise.
Nikola, of course, one of those early SPACs. Remember that stock going up as high as what, in the 80s or 90s? There's QuantumScape, of course, big battery maker. We talk a lot about it.
Yeah.
You want to just stay away from this sector for a while? Is that sort of
a pause?
The speculation has left the building.
I think so. Hard pass, David.
Yeah.
Hard pass.
Hard pass. Okay.
Oh, look at that. We have a whole list of them. Yeah. Romeo Power.
Yeah.
Where art thou on the new low list? Fisker making a comeback.
Making a comeback. Hey, by the way, on SPACs, I don't know if you saw, it's a small deal, but I
don't know how that's making a comeback. 1.52%. Fisker's been pretty rough.
So it's a SPAC. They're doing something called Aloma Steel. I mention it because it's the opposite of every SPAC deal. Remember the projections, 7 times 2026 revenues. These guys are taking this thing public at 1.9 times adjusted EBITDA this year.
Well,
of course, it is the 3rd largest steel company in Canada.
Cleveland Cliffs is ready.
It's still below, by the way.
Still
below. It's $10. I mean, these things.
What's the PE of Cleveland Cliffs right now?
I have no idea.
4.
Really?
Yeah.
4. What should it be?
Probably about 10. Remember, look at Nucor. Carl, Nucor is, of course, the #1 performing stock in the New York Stock Exchange, and it is selling at 8 times earnings. That is ridiculous. Nucor has always had 2 to 3 year cycles, not 2 to...
I was just trying to take a peek, short of videos. I can't find an article on it, but Jim Cramer was just bagging on QuantumScape. But I'm pretty sure I remember him having the CEO on after the short seller report, and he was defending them as really great and a wonderful opportunity. I'm not sure, just pretty sure. So it can't be 100. I don't know. I don't want to click around at other videos right now, but now he sounds like he doesn't like QuantumScape. Come on, man. Come on. All right, let's go ahead and see what Fox has for us. Let's go find out. All right, let's hear it, Fox.
Back and open.
And now this is a story. I don't know whether you like this one or not, but I've got to do it. Prince Harry, do not turn your sets off. He continues to drop more truth bombs about the royal family. I'm sorry I have to report this, but roll tape.
I thought my family would help.
All right, well, we're not going to talk about the royal family. So AMC's up about 2.8 here. The volume is not what we had yesterday. Let's see. Yeah. Wait, let's go to the hold on. Let's go to the 5 minute. Well, actually, maybe. Hold on. Hold on a second, because yesterday we were on the 5-minute. No, maybe we do have good volume. Hold on a second. Hold on. It's only been 2 candlesticks for the 5-minute here. Let's go to yesterday. Actually, you know what? When we go to the 5-minute, we could be good here. And then I wouldn't be surprised to see this run. Yeah, the volume, the opening volume is actually substantially higher, 6.7 mil. And the next stick's at 2.7. This is actually really good volume. I think I confused myself with a 1-minute candle here. But this is actually good. You know, we'll see what happens. Kind of flattening right now. But yeah, I would watch this. And I would definitely be looking at those prior resistance levels around 14.5. And it makes me wonder if folks are going to psychologically take profits around that level. I don't know. But it's an interesting one. Starting to get that a little bit of that red, though, here as we flatten. We'll see what happens. One to keep an eye on. This is very interesting, especially with the 5-minute chart being so early. Love to see that volume develop. But, I mean, we're having 1-minute charts here with 1 million in volume. It's incredible. It's pretty big volume. We'll see how it goes. All right. Let's see. What else do we have? Let's go to CoinMarketCap. All righty here. CoinMarketCap. There we go. So taking a look at CoinMarketCap, we've got Bitcoin. Yep, still at 37.6. We'll see how this evolves. Cardano at 1.52. Dogecoin's kind of been getting left behind a little bit here. Down about 29% on the week. But then again, so is Ethereum, down 25% on the week. But Ethereum had run so substantially. It's higher than where I bought it. But still, I mean, woo. It's got you know, had a little song here. So the big question now is, will there be any development of peak fear again to where potentially Bitcoin breaks back down to 32,000? I think that's a big thing a lot of folks are trying to understand and trying to look at, and certainly be watchful of. Doesn't help that we didn't break above 40, because if we could have just broken above 40, this would have been a little bit easier. Let's go to the 30 minute here. Yeah, there we go. See, we got stuck at 40. If we could have just broken above that, I think that would have given us more assurity that we wouldn't see a revisit down to the low 30s. Not seeing that yet. We'll have to keep an eye on it. Lots of things to watch. Let's try CNBC. What do we got over here? We'll go to top news.
Can't get a Bronco, Carl. Broncos are sold out. Can't get a Bronco.
No. Yeah.
I mean, this guy named Farley. You're probably confusing him with his late cousin.
You
just went right.
Chris Farley, we know. All right. The financials are also having a very strong morning, guys. Want to point that out as well.
You think it's more important than what we're talking about?
Well, we've talked a lot about it, and our viewers know how you feel about Mr. Farley and Ford. And I'm just trying to, yes, I am trying to pivot to another part of the market that is up.
Let's focus on JP Morgan. Let's focus on Wow.
Thank you. Yes. See that? See?
Okay, they're killing me today. They're killing me. All right. Bloomberg. U.S. home prices surged most since 2005, fueled by low rates. And here's what I was reading. I was reading this on the terminal here. Cathie Wood ditched Virgin Galactic stock right before it surged. Just really trying to beat up Cathie. We'll have to look at flows, too, in just a moment here. But Deutsche Bank's nightmare decade is gone. But not forgotten. Wow. Okay. I'm gonna go pull up flows. See what we got in terms of flows. And otherwise, let's see. Let's pull up Bloomberg Live as well. And we'll go back to the sticks. Bloomberg Live, just so we've got them up. Got CNBC, Facts, Business, Bloomberg Live. Let's listen in.
Well, why did I say that? That's not what I do. So, Jamie, Gorman. So I'm going to let Gorman take that back. I'm going to let Gorman have a do-over. He doesn't usually make those things, David. So he's going to say he's taken out of context.
Okay. I haven't talked to James in a while.
No?
If he's out there, nice to see you, James. Good job on keeping your job for another 3+ years as you set up another competition for who's going to succeed.
Well, when you make as much money he has and does such a good job, he deserves it.
He can stay.
Her fund's actually doing fine. It's been going up and down. Oh, look at here we go. Wow. AMC ran to 1450 way faster than I thought it would. Now, it's got the volume like crazy here. So now the real test is going to be, can we break through this? Honestly, with the volume we're getting on the minute chart, Wouldn't shock me. I mean, look at this. We got 2.5 million in volume in one candlestick. But I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. 14F. That's incredible. What a push. I see some of you are mentioning that. See, look at that. There comes the bounce off the line. But anyway, I don't know. Oh, you look at Neo. Ooh, Neo deciding to take off a bit here. Neo taking off. Vuzi taking off. Ooh, we're definitely growing some green here. The green's getting larger. Tilray, Xpeng. Nice moves here. It almost like took like 3 or 4 minutes for the market to open and really get warmed up. And now it's like, yeah, okay, we're ready. Property Solutions SPAC jumping here. About 4%. Bumble's jumping about 4%. API's up about 5%. Yeah, AMC's having trouble there. It's scary when those lines do that. But they seriously, it got the volume today to break through. The volume's nuts. I can't remember the last time I've seen it this high. Wow. 6.8 million, 4.6, 5.8 on the 5-minute charts here. Just insane volume right now. Man, it's almost like I'm playing back a record. It's almost, I feel like I'm almost doing what a lot of the day traders do. And it's not to slam anyone, but they play you a recording of like, see, this is what's gonna happen. It's gonna run up over here because the volume's high, and then it's gonna bounce off this line. But this is happening live. It's very weird. I can't look anymore. It doesn't mean it won't. I mean, I feel like they have the volume and potential to go through it today, but that bounces. That's crazy. Anyway, where were we? Seagate. Seagate down 266, 275-ish here. On the 5-minute, you still have Bitcoin and Ethereum moving up. Yeah, 5-minute doing nicely here. Target here, Snowflake 0.25%. Voyager, Lemonade. Yeah, not much happening throughout the rest of the market. A lot of the market is very, very flat today. It's like you got to get to, and there's not too much red in our chart. Tesla's even up 1%, but there's not, I mean, with the exception of Lordstown Motors, which just got spanked over here, even Riot and Marathon are recovering nicely. Enphase has been fluctuating 1% here or there. I mean, big deal. Peloton's up 0.5%, big deal. You've got, really, what's interesting is here, 3% on Etsy, 4% on Carnival, Social Capital up. The airline's doing very well here. Golly, Hydro Farm's up 7%. GameStop running now. GameStop sitting at, oh yeah, look at that GameStop run. This is on the minute chart here. GameStop just popped a little bit, going from 186 to 190. And AMC's trying to break through. There it goes. It still has the volume to be able to do it. It's just got to do it. I wouldn't be surprised if it does break fully through, though, because nobody wants to stop day trading this early. It's like, you're like, come on. Still got a whole day ahead of us. Oh, we will see. It's definitely hanging out at that line. Man. All right, what else here? So, Canopy, Ocugen, Bumble, Vuzi rotating off about 1760 here. Bumble still running. Yeah, look at that. Nice push up, flattened, pushing up again. Strong mover here. Wow. Yeah, Xpeng up 4.4. Let's see what else we have here. Yeah, Etsy, Agora, Uber. All right, let's listen into CNBC has for us.
Down into what you're saying and what Bob is saying. So let me get this straight. 2 weeks ago, we settled a 10-year note yield at 162. Today, we're dribbling down, as you see on the 2-week chart. We're down at 158. So we're down 2 basis points. We've had just weeks and weeks of closing in the 160s. So several basis points and ongoing, we promise Scouts Honor, we're not going to raise rates or taper without giving you months and months of guidance. All of that is creating this rally. I don't buy it. I really do think that the reopening trade has a little vinegar left in it. And I do think that central banks aren't necessarily the friend of any market these days. But the fact that they're in the driveway warming up the car for us, even though they have no idea when they're going to have to put it in drive and floor it to get out of easy money policy. I know that we were talking about various bank, Gorman, for example, potentially seeing a taper at the end of this year. I'm with him. Now, let's look at a month to date of tens and boons.
I'll tell you, this is a very, very common belief of a lot of people on Wall Street. They're like, I don't believe the Fed's going to be able to get us out. The Fed's going to have to taper sooner. Bad inflation is coming. I think bad inflation's already here. Whether it stays is the big question. I really want to watch consumer spending. Remember, consumers make up 70% of our economy. If consumers spend and then all of a sudden slow down their spending because they're going into frugal decade mode, inflation's going to evaporate. It's gonna be nuts. So we're betting on which way is the crowd gonna go? To more spend or to less? Or to more than less? See, like the amount of scenarios is kind of nuts.
Carl, Jim, David, back to you.
All right, Rick. Thank you very much, Rick Santelli. So Dow's going for a fourth day higher here, and the S&P still holding 4,200, just a few points above. More Squawk of the Street continues in a minute.
What else? What else is news? Lordstown's getting better. Looks like it's got some medicine. It's down 13.2 right now, which is not as bad. Red tape, madness, new home cost soaring. Sounds familiar. Oh yeah, okay. They want to get me demonetized. I get it. Okay, start playing music like that. Listen to Bloomberg.
We've had this really behind the scenes deleveraging around the street, and I think it's having follow-on repercussions.
Larry, do you think it pokes some holes, just a few holes in the "Don't Fight the Fed" narrative?
Yeah. I mean, don't fight the Fed. Exactly. So the whole concept's been don't fight the Fed, which has worked for the banks, worked for the S&P. S&P's near the highs, but you just have a lot of young people sitting at home with just horrific losses. And this is really a social. This brings in the whole social justice Fed. I mean, the Fed is promising to rid the world of, or trying to rid the world of inequality. We have raging inequality. This just makes inequality that much worse.
So, Larry, just a final question from me to you. You've talked about where you would be constructive in this market, international, with a bit of a cyclical tilt, leaning into the commodity story. Anything that gets drawn down, buy into that, seems to be the message you're sending. What's the part of the market you think is vulnerable, given everything you and I have just discussed?
Well, China is really embarrassed here. China has 1,000 coal plants. They've got 300 more coming online. And so there's a real wake-up call for this green revolution, because coal is powering a lot of this Bitcoin. So you're going to see a lot of disruptions there in terms of foreign policy. But in terms of the market and actual drawdowns, I just think it's at the end of the day, when you have so much capital that's backward looking, I think you need to have $3 to $4 trillion come out of growth and tech into value and commodities. And so that means, big tech stocks in a new world, in a 1970s price controls type world. And China's talking about price controls right now, where commodity prices get out of hand. Tech goes down 30-40% from here, and value stocks go a lot higher.
Larry, I'll make sure we don't leave it.
Gotta love Larry from the Bear Trap Report, reminding us that if you're losing money, you suck, and tech's going down another 40%, but value's going to the moon. Okay, broski. Thanks for your opinion, Mr. Bear Trap. All right. So, what do we got over here? So what's happening here? Lordstown back down to 14%. Virgin Galactic, 4%. Crypto's still dancing a little bit. Tried going up with the market open. Tried to keep up. Tried to play. Didn't work. Like AMC can't get above the line. We should just move the line. Oh man. Yeah, volume slowing a little bit, but it's still very strong. I mean, if I go to the 5-minute, it's still very strong. It's just softening substantially here. I mean, people made a good buck already, honestly. Like, they could just go do a quick trade and go to the beach. That's why you gotta live in Puerto Rico. Anyway. GameStop, 3.71 to the upside. Neo had a little run here, but it's also kind of given up here. What happened? Where's our market? What happened? What? Weed, GameStop, airlines, and movies, and Bumble, and dating? Come on. This was a setup for a fun day. Voyager Digital, 2.7% here. We've got Xpeng, 2.54% to the upside. Macy's, 2.4% to the upside. But all of them kind of rotating down a bit here. Tattoo, it's almost at $21. We've got Etsy here, up a couple percent, but also a lot of slowing down here in the market. What happened? See if we can get the volatility index here, CBOE. Now, the problem is this one's always delayed. I wonder if I could just Google it and get it faster. So even the Bloomberg one's delayed. Let's listen over here for a moment.
What do you have, Grady?
Well, right now, Stuart, this is just a very expensive hole in the ground. One day it'll be a beautiful house, but the cost for the materials are just so high right now that it made more financial sense to put the project on pause. And Jim Prisby is the man behind this house. So why'd you decide to do this? It's lumber, it's shingles, it's foam, it's just about everything you need.
It's really everything. When we bid this project out last July, initially, it was half the cost of what the lumber is now, just for the rough lumber. Then by the time you add exterior cedar, you add roof shingles, PVC is up, sheet metal's up. It's one thing after another. It's just too expensive to build.
I assume that if enough people do what you have done and say, we're just going to pause for now, that prices will come back down, right? That's what you hope.
Boy, I sure would hope so, right? That would be terrific.
And it's not just...
Yeah, no, I was reading a comment that somebody had mentioned the VIX was going up. I don't see it moving right now. I don't know if it's just because there's a slight delay on it, but I'm not seeing volatility move up right now. Looking at, it's not a surprise here that somebody's chillaxing on building their home. Materials have shot through the roof, and contractors are almost kind of hard to come by right now. Yeah, look at the weird behavior in the S&P. Well, this is the SPY, but that'll work too. Look at the SPY. So kind of like wanted to have fun today. Then flatten is like, I don't know if I want to have fun today. You know what? No, I don't want to have fun today. It's like, but wait a minute, maybe I do. Very indecisive is I think the way to play it today. Indecisive market. So Hydro Farm though, I mean, I wonder if this thing's gonna go back to $80. Let's go zoom out. It's been a while since I've really looked at Hydro Farm on the day chart. Nah, it's been fluctuating around here for a while. I can't say that this is going to go back to $80. It's really range. Look how range bound this is. I mean, you're talking 51 to what? 70 as a range bind here. So 70 maybe, but it just gets stuck between this range. So a lot of things right now are doing that. A lot of different stocks feeling range bound. Bobbing around within them. Perfect time to day trade. Bumble rotating to the downside a little bit, or at least swing trade. AMC getting stuck below our line. We've got Social Capital's up that nice 4%. I gotta figure out when my option expires on that. Somebody says Coin is running. Really? Coinbase? Well, it's up 4%. Oh wow. Yeah. Look at that. Nice little pump there on the one. All right. Let's listen to CNBC for a moment.
CEO is going to join us next on Squawk on the Street as the Dow briefly goes red.
Are you going to go to commercial? Fine. Just do that. We don't need you, CNBC. We got ads over at Bloomberg too. Fine. There's always Fox Business to help us learn about the border. Oh no, it's on commercial too. Man. Oh well. Let's see. IPOE. I totally don't even know where my darn option is in that one. Yeah, I have absolutely no idea. And still, they're all on commercial. How do these commercials last so long? I don't get it. No, whatever. All right, 2 seconds here on Bloomberg. Please be off commercial. No, they just loop to another commercial. What jerks? It's like a perma loop of commercials. How rude. All right. Very rude. So what else we got? The airlines today. I mean, you know what I want to look at is I want to zoom out on the airlines here a little bit. Let's get a better understanding of what's been going on here with the airlines. So zooming out on United, we've got, we did hit a high of, what is this, about 60, just under 65, 64 and a half-ish. So we're at 57.8 right here. We've kind of been bobbing a little bit. And just sort of like AMC is bobbing around. United Airlines been bobbing around. American Airlines, yeah, kind of same behavior. Carnival, pretty much range bound. The market really is up against a lid, is what it feels like. It's like there's a lid on this market, and you just can't keep going. Yeah. Joey says, check your Twitter comments. I don't know how to do that. They make it very difficult. Posted a link from the IRS website that says something about having a chance to make $10,000. Are you talking about the, golly, what is it? The SBA EIDL $10,000 grant if you're in an economically disadvantaged neighborhood with a poverty rate of greater than 20% and an economic decline of 30% year over year? I think that's what you're talking about. I'm pretty sure you're talking about the SBA. All right, what else? So rotating to the downside, you got end phase. End phase going basically straight down today. This is the minute chart here on end phase, and it's just, yeah, no thanks. No thanks. I don't want to participate today. Arcimoto, same thing. It's kind of a bummer. Virgin Galactic, Lordstown, Roblox. It's one of the first days. It's kind of been rotating to the downside here. Yeah, Roblox has been up and away over the last few days. Been hitting all-time highs yesterday. It was almost to $90 yesterday. It's crazy. Matterport. Let's see how Matterport is doing. Matterport's really sitting at the average 1383 here. Hey, it beats 11, or it did sit for a little bit of time. But yeah, otherwise, even the market's pretty stable right now. Nothing super exciting happening. Maybe things slightly rotating to the downside. Yeah, okay, what do we got here? Fox talking about tech stocks lifting the market for 2 days in a row.
The rest of them, Amazon, Facebook, Alphabet, and Microsoft on the way up. Bitcoin on the way down. 37.6 is the latest quote there. Now, just got the latest read. Attention, realtors. This is the latest read on new home prices for the month of April. Ashley Webster. There he is. Good morning, Ashley.
Morning.
The number, please.
Yes, 863,000. That is certainly short of the estimate of 970,000. And there is a trend here, Stu, I believe. We saw existing home sales for April drop 2.7%. This latest number on new homes down 5.9%, all from the previous month. But then you look at, permits, housing permits and starts are also down from the highs at the beginning of the year. So you could argue with all of these numbers that from the beginning of the year when this housing boom was really taking off, we're starting to see it cool off a little bit. Yep. Maybe because, I don't know, inventory is down and the prices of homes are going up too much certainly for first-time home buyers. So again, this is continuing a trend.
Yeah, you're right. Earlier this morning, we found out from the one of the surveys, the home prices have gone up 13.3% in the past year. That's a massive increase. And now you've just told us that new home sales moderated, came down a bit.
Yep.
Very interesting stuff. Prices are just way up there. Now, we also have the read on consumer price, not consumer price, consumer confidence for the month of May, Susan.
So it's real time, a little bit less than anticipated, 117.2, whereas economists were calling for a read of 119.4. And again, this is deceleration month over month, less than what we saw in the previous month of April.
Okay, that's what we've got. No impact on the market. We're still a little bit of green on all the indicators.
I'm kind of expecting that to continue, that folks just are not going to be as spend happy as the market thinks they're going to be. I don't know. Maybe I'm just like, maybe I think we're all together more frugal, but I don't know. I feel like most people never want to be caught in this situation again where they don't have savings or investments. I think a lot of extra money is just going to keep getting dumped into the markets. And then people might be like, well, then why aren't they like going to the moon? Well, it's because of the darn hedge funds. It's shorting. It's an insane amount of shorting that we've seen over the last 3 months, which in fairness, they've done very well in. Don't get me wrong. Hedge funds have been doing very poorly though, also over the last year. So they finally pulled it off a little bit.
To raise more capital to hit production targets, which were also slashed pretty dramatically as well. Those shares are down about 15% right now. Shake Shack, meantime, getting a boost after Goldman upgraded the stock to buy, saying the recent pullback presents, well, a buying opportunity. You can see those shares are up 10%. Finally, shares of Vimeo tanking as the video platform completes its spinoff from IAC. The CEO is going to join us on Squawk on the Street just a bit later on in the show. IAC, meantime, David, those shares are up about 3% right now.
Thanks, Morgan. We got new data this morning from Moderna that regarding its COVID-19 vaccine that's out this morning. Meg Terrell has those details for us. Meg.
Hey, David, this is for kids ages 12 to 17.
I'm going to pull off this Moderna here. So Andrew says, don't get it wrong. They are raising prices so consumers will spend less. So I think in your question, you have this built in, like the big man versus the little guy. I get that. I want to take it more from the market point of view. The interesting thing is, from a market point of view, rather than like a collaborative, the big man's out to trying to get his point of view, it's the same bottom line though. From a market point of view, that's actually exactly how the market is supposed to work, right? Prices, when there are shortages, prices are supposed to go up. The prices going up means demand goes down. When prices of things go up, people are like, well, then I'll just wait. Or think about travel. Okay, imagine you go to Disney World in Florida and it's so packed because everybody's trying to go back on vacation. And it's miserable because everything's so packed. Then what happens is, well, not only do you see prices go up, but enjoyment goes down. So higher prices, lower enjoyment because maybe you had to wait longer or whatever because of these shortages. What happens? People are fine. Then I won't buy. Then I won't participate and I'll wait. And so what happens when people don't participate? Well, they demand less and prices come back down. Yeah, it's and then we're gonna get all these articles and talk on the news about how oh no, it looks like we're heading towards deflation. You can't trust the suits to make good projections, in my opinion. So this is why I don't let myself get swayed at all. I stick with my ideas. We'll see what happens. But I don't know. Could totally be wrong. But I don't know. What else we got here? Does Varney got anything for us? Let's see what Varn's got.
Still, here's my litmus test, Stuart. I want to go downstairs after this interview. I'll go out to the city streets of Chicago, and if there's anybody still walking around, I might find one or two people. But I want to find somebody that's invested in Bitcoin, and then after they say he or she says they have, I would like them to tell me what it is. Because I don't think a lot of you.
Okay, you got the anti-Bitcoin man. All right, interesting. No comment. So what do we have here? Hydro Farms up almost 10%. Airlines doing great today. Airlines still running. Still running on the day. We've moved from about 4% to about 5%. We're back at 234 over here at Hold on. Go. Okay. So Coinbase at 234, which is up about 4% here. Carnival's also up about 4%. We've got AMC. AMC couldn't do it. It literally hit our line, and people are like, that's it. That's it. That's it. I'm going to the beach. Going out. Going out. I'm done. Somebody says, okay, then explain copper. More and more pipe is plastic, but the cost of copper is still. Yeah, look, copper is used for more than just pipes, right? Copper is used in motors. And the supply chain dynamics are very, very complicated. There's no simple answer as to, why is lumber up so much and why is copper up so much, but coffee's not. Coffee's what, like 15%, and copper's like triple. It's big differences, right? It's very, very big differences. In every individual commodity has its own COVID-related issues. I'm not trying to argue that there's not inflation here now. I'm just suggesting copper's not going to be as expensive as it is now forever. Same thing with lumber. So Macy's actually up 2.5% here. OGI kind of gave it up. OGI trying to run, but no. Or am I confusing that with Ocugen? I might be confusing that with Ocugen. So Ocugen had a good start, but they rotated down as well a little bit. Restoration Hardware 2.9, Teladoc 2.54, Palantir is sitting at 1.8, Tattooed 1.8, Sundial 1.6, Square. I can't believe Square's at 2.14. Matterport's up 1.4, also sitting just below 14. Simon Property Group sitting at 1.26. What else we got here? Pinterest up. Where'd Tesla go? They were up 1%. I don't know where they went today, though. Where'd they go? Uh-oh. They just rotate down into Tesla's now. No longer up 1%. Now it's down 0.25%. Yeah, a little bizarre of a market here. You got Roblox still rotating to the downside, and let's see here. Didn't we have Enphase rotating to the downside as well? Yeah, well, no, it's flattened out. Down about 2.81%. Kind of flattened out right here. All right. Very, very, very interesting. All right. What else do we have? We can check the Bloomberg Live again. Let's see here. Nope. All right. They're on commercial. Fox, you on commercial too? No, Fox is being boring though. Check this out.
That we saw in equities as well. Just wanted to get your take on that and how it speaks to these wild pockets of momentum, these wild pockets of, I guess, spillover we've seen from just a handful of higher risk assets that have popped up since the beginning of the year, really.
Well, I think it hasn't had a major effect, Morgan, because the interconnectivity is not quite there. What happens is people have rather broad holdings, and if you're going to get a margin call in one sector of it that's particularly volatile, you may have to sell something else. There's an old expression in Wall Street that when you can't sell what you want to sell, you sell whatever you can sell, sometimes even your grandmother's jewelry. So we haven't seen that spillover yet. I think you're absolutely right. People are nervously watching. The crypto volatility, I think, will probably continue. The trouble there is in some markets, they're highly leveraged. There's margin trading in some areas up to nearly 100%. So when you get a margin call or a raid in there, that's why you're going to get these sharp moves. So we run between short squeezes and margin calls.
Wait, hold on.
Our commitment to do so. That was Fed Governor Lyle Brainerd speaking at the CoinDesk Consensus Conference yesterday, sticking with the central bank's messaging. Now, Morgan Stanley CEO James Gorman takes the other side at a virtual conference in Tokyo earlier. He says increasingly people are starting to think inflation may be more structural long term. If that is the case, the Fed will have to raise interest rates at some point. My personal view is that rates are likely to rise in the early part of next year and not in 2023, which is the current projection.
Yeah, so like she said, that's the counterpoint. The Fed was just they showed an interview clip of the Fed, and one of the quotes they showed was essentially, Fed is still expecting they can control inflation. We shall see.
Tug of war on the macro side when you're doing your analysis, and how do you structure?
Brilliant question. So what is the market giving us? That is the only question that matters. And clearly, we are in an inflationary era. And I don't think you can paint inflation all with one brush. Some segments are going to have significantly more inflation than others. How do you monetize it? The answer is commodities. There is structural demand and supply imbalance. If you look at copper, for example, EV car growth over the last 10 years is 3,465%. EV cars take 10 times the copper of internal combustion cars. That is a trajectory that is not going to stop. So let's be smart about how do we make money from inflation. And it's by
kind of like what we talked about, motors. The motors take so much. I didn't know they took 10 times as much. That's pretty cool, though. Good fun fact.
There's a tidal wave. There's a globally synchronized Green New Deal of demand for them.
Okay, so what's the short, Barbara? Where do we position ourselves there? Is it the areas that are not going to have pricing power, the areas that are going to be left behind? What does the flip side of that trade look like?
The flip side of that trade is exactly as you said, companies with no pricing power. Because if you think about what Amazon did, it changed the way we shop. It's a price comparison website. TVs, white goods, very little ability to pass through price. I was speaking to a company in Waltham, Massachusetts last Friday, and the CEO said to me, I know you're supposed to be interviewing me, but I just need to ask you, what am I going to do about the price of my steel? What am I doing about copper? What am I doing about my magnets? And so this is top of mind for every CEO. So you want companies with high inflation pass-through rates.
So give me some examples. So give me like a pair trade that you have.
Oh, we would be short Electrolux here. These are companies that are on peak multiples and, in our opinion, peak margins with very little ability to pass through that inflation rate. So yes, you have a great order book, but if it's not accretive, it's not going to move your needle.
All right, I'm going to pull off this interesting talk about peak margins. So looking or being watchful of companies with peak margins. So, all right, well, I think that does it for today. I'd say, hey, make sure you get your 2 free stocks linked down below with Webull. Go to metkevin.com/Webull, deposit $100, get your 2 free stocks over there. We're going to go jump on over to our course member live stream here in a couple minutes. And folks, appreciate you. We'll see you in the next video. We'll see how this all plays out. I'll be with you because I ain't leaving. See, look, I even got a cup to prove it to you. See, there you go. Thanks so much, folks. We'll see you next one.